Hello and welcome to the Pharmacy Informatics Professor 2020 with your host, Dr. Armin Simonian. Today I want to talk about a very important topic, and that is interoperability. We've talked a lot about the different technologies that have been applied to the medication use process. And one of the challenges with all these technologies is that each one has to be built separately, has a separate drug database, has a different set of information, and probably the major problem is that the systems don't talk to each other. They're not interoperable, they're not integrated, they're not able to have a two-way conversation. And because of that, we have these isolated technologies, and the human has to be the one that interfaces between them. So I wanted to, in this Journal Club series episode, I want to talk specifically about one of the major projects that's going on with pharmacy informaticists across the country, and that is trying to integrate their smart pumps with their EHRs. And I did see a article that's fairly recent that addresses this specific issue, and I would like to talk specifically about that as an example of interoperability between our systems. So let's start with this article from 2018. It is a few years old, but it's still very relevant to today's situation. And the authors are talking about both clinical and financial effects of integrating their smart pumps with their electronic health record. And this is specifically about interoperability, and it's a two-way conversation between the smart pump and the EMR. So what happens now with a smart pump if we don't have it integrated with our EHR is that the nurse has to receive the dose, the IV bag, and then go to the pump and actually pick the drug and enter an infusion rate. And there are a lot of errors that can occur with the keystrokes, picking the right solution, picking the right rate, entering that correctly. What happens with integration is that you can auto program the pump. So basically it involves scanning, barcode scanning. So we can scan the patient's wristband, we can scan the infusion, we can scan the pump. And then when that happens, the pump can talk to the EHR, it can grab the correct order, it can auto program so that the drug name, the ingredients, the infusion rate, the amount of volume to be infused is all automatically programmed into the system. And then the smart pump can also talk back to the EHR and provide some documentation. So as you know, in acute care, when we administer medications, we have something called a medication administration record. And along with that, we often have a separate IV administration record, IVAR or IVAR. So we have the MAR and the IVAR. And with interoperability, the smart pump can actually communicate back to the EHR and provide documentation on the IVAR so that, again, this doesn't have to be done as a separate step manually by the nurse that has hung an infusion on the patient. If we talk about the key points from this article, we see that there was an improvement with medication safety. So remember, that's really our primary goal is safer therapies. And they eliminated the need for manual programming. And then accuracy of the infusion. So when it started, when it stopped, how much fluid was infused, and the rate changes can be updated. And so this is very important too. And then the third key point here is that you have to have a team. You have to have a team. And hello, pharmacy informaticists. We've talked about leadership. We've talked about project management. And here's where the pharmacy informaticist comes in, can be involved with the vision of implementing these interoperability systems between smart pumps and the EHR and other systems. You have to do the right thing for the patient. And so something that improves patient safety in a significant way is a very worthy, valuable project. And this is what was done at this institution. And in the conclusion, you see that what happened with interoperability at this site is that there was an improvement in medication safety, accuracy of the IV infusion, timeliness of the IV infusion, efficiency of documentation. We talked about the IVAR. And the last point is revenue. So this actually had a positive financial effect too, which is not our primary goal, but really a great benefit to the institution in terms of staying viable and keeping the business going. So there was a clinical benefit and also a financial benefit with interoperability. So the bottom line is, as a pharmacy informaticist, remember, you want to be a leader. You are going to be a project manager. So have your vision, strive for interoperability, be brave enough to start these major projects and lead them all the way through. And in the end, you can literally save lives by implementing these technologies and getting our systems to interact better with each other, to talk to each other, provide documentation. So all of these technologies that are applied to the medication use process can work in harmony and provide the best, safest care for our patients. If this video was useful for you and you found it interesting, please like it and subscribe to my channel. And I'll thank you for that. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, look after the health of others. And I'll continue to work on more Journal Club and other episodes, and I hope to see you next time. Take care.